Hello and welcome. Today I'm going through the various London levels of Tomb Raider 3 as part of the April Adventures series of videos I'm doing in my first ever full playthrough of Tomb Raider 3. Previously I've done each level individually and had sped up footage and what have you, but these videos aren't getting a lot of views and they're not really worth the effort of editing down all that much and then speeding up and things, so I've decided to get less footage and cover the London section of the game as a whole. And I'll say right off the bat, the London section of the game is my least favourite of the ones that I've played so far. It starts off with Thames Wharf, an exterior level where there's a lot of jumping between buildings and things, but it does have a handy shortcut which means you can finish the level in under 2 minutes. The overall look of the London levels isn't bad. It's a bit different for the Tomb Raider games, and we've had Venice and some other either rural or village type things, but it's the first full-on city if I recall correctly. The look isn't bad. Thames Wharf isn't a bad level overall, not great, but it's all downhill from there. Next up is Aldwych, where Lara, sorry, not Tomb Raider, why am I calling it Tomb Raider? Anyway, Lara ends up falling into this Aldwych area, so you have an abandoned subway system with a gang in it, and the level is large, maze-like, with some difficult navigation, and because the layout is quite hard, or it'll take you a while to get a feel for the level. The puzzles in it aren't exactly obvious. To explain the puzzles on this level, you have the Solomon keys you have to collect, which you use in the Masonic Temple. Fairly straightforward Tomb Raider stuff. To get into the Masonic Temple, you have to solve a puzzle with switches, getting the right ones. Again, not obvious, but it's not too difficult. Just a lot of running around and trying to figure out which switches affect which doors and so on and so forth. There's a timed switch area which is really tight, and with the controls of the run button being a bit iffy, that annoyed me somewhat. There's also a puzzle to get through a security barrier for the train. To get it, you need a penny which you get from a vending machine by switching on a light, and it appears on the ground next to the vending machine, or you switch on the power rather. Quite easy to miss, I think. Then you need to use that penny to buy a ticket from an area earlier in the game, and the ticket booths, well, there's quite a few of them. They all look the same. They look like background dressing rather than something you'd interact with, and most of them don't work, and only one of them will work. So it's pot luck as to which one will work. Well, it's not pot luck, there is only one, so you can look it up, but you wouldn't know it. So if you try a few and nothing happens, you think, well, okay, it's not one of these, it'll be somewhere else, but it was there. And you'll go around for ages trying to work out what you're doing, and things don't seem to work, so you run around more and more. And the puzzle design in this one, some good ideas behind the puzzles. The execution of them is bloody terrible. There's also this drill section where this drill thing follows you down and you're jumping to save your life. Again, standard Tomb Raider stuff, that's fine. But you've got to again, it's just the navigation of this area is awkward. And you come there, I think it's 3 times in the level. Every time it's awkward to navigate. Oh, and there's the trains as well. There's certain areas where you can run down the train tunnels and you get to effectively it's a dead end. So of course it will summon in a subway train which will just twat Lara and kill her. There's a reasonable number of death traps, and it's all the worst aspects of the large expansive levels of Tomb Raider 3. I really did not like this level. It took me sort of 2 hours and 37 minutes to beat all in, and that's without my deaths and things, because obviously using save states, if you've played for a bit and died, it's not counted on the overall level timer. There's a lot to like on this level, some interesting ideas. There's Masonic Temple, and the puzzles are potentially quite good, but when you combine it with the large layout, the gotcha death trap things, and the awkward navigation of much of it, it was not fun. It really provided. This is the level that nearly stopped this playthrough. Next up was Lud's Gate. So after you go through the Masonic Temple, getting the Solomon's keys, you end up essentially in a museum where there's a Sphinx in the museum, and it's not a bad level at first, and then you get the underwater jet thing, which is a pain to control. The level becomes quite annoying after that. There's also some bits that are awkward to traverse and navigate. It's not as bad as Aldwych, but it wasn't a particularly good level either. And finally you have the city, where you're battling a cosmetic designer who has one of the artifacts that gives her powers. It's not a bad boss fight. You navigate this part of the city, climbing up, dodging all these massive powerful blasts that she shoots out. and you have to electrocute her at the end. And that's it. Then you're off to Antarctica, which is the final leg of the game, and I'm glad of that. These London levels have been a bit of a chore. They're not without merit, but overall they have been my least favourite. As it is, the end of Tomb Raider 3 is in sight,